Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report. It's Wednesday, which means new comics, which means review time. We're going to kick off with Mr. Terrific Year 1, Issue 5 of a 6-part miniseries, which has been absolutely fantastic. Every single issue has been brilliant. I cannot wait to find out where this is going, where it's ending. I think it's going to have far-reaching implications across the current DC line as well. So it is definitely worth a read. Now I'm going to go through it page by page. There will be spoilers, so read the book beforehand. If you don't want it spoilt, like the video if you can, and definitely hit subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. So let's dive straight in. Mr. Terrific Year 1. I love this book. So it's by Letson with art by Valentine De Landro. And so far, this has been the book that's brought me into the DC universe even more. I absolutely love Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific, and I can't wait to read more about him. So the story's told in 2 different timelines. You know this if you've been reading it, but if you don't, it's the present and the past. So the past obviously is the year 1. It's the story of how he became Mr. Terrific. And in the present, he's tracking down this netherlight energy, which is connected to that year 1 story and also connected to what's going on in the greater DC universe at the moment. Now, I had to do a little bit of research because in the last issue, he arrived at the Palace of Eternity. So let's set the scene here. So in the Flash 799, Mr. Terrific plays a pivotal role in the Suffer the Children storyline, bringing his scientific genius and strategic mind to the Flash family's mission to rescue Wally West's kidnapped son, Wade, from Granny, got to get this right, Granny Goodness's Palace of Eternity. As part of the infiltration team, Holt uncovers a critical discovery about the compound's time-manipulating technology, potentially tied to apocalyptic experiments or Speed Force anomalies, which could have far-reaching implications for the DC Universe's multiversal narrative, which we know it does. Okay, Darkseid, can I say anything more? Now, his intellectual prowess complements Wally's speed, grounding the chaotic assault with calculated problem-solving, and his findings hint at future storylines involving the distortion of cosmic threats. Right now, that we know is true because we are experiencing them now. Now, it also adds a deeply personal stake to the story when it reveals that Holt's own son was among the children abducted by Granny Goodness, fueling his determination to dismantle her operation. So his son was long thought dead in a car crash with Michael Holt's mother, his wife. So that was a big storyline. So we are going to get to him very, very soon, in fact. So he is in this netherlight swirl of maelstrom of time rifts and all sorts of stuff going on, and he's got this help here from this hellhound, and he finds out why the hellhound is so eager to help him, because he sees the hellhound's mate I guess dead on the floor, which fills him full of rage. And the beast attacks this mystery person here who is causing all the problems. Now, I don't know who this mystery person is. Maybe I should know, but I don't. My DC knowledge of this part of the DC universe is very slim. So let me know if you know. Now, what he discovers is that there are rifts here, and they are cracks in the space-time continuum. And if they are allowed to continue, they could cause irreparable damage to both worlds across time and space. So there are locations that you can travel to through these little time rifts. One is Gateway City, one is Gotham City, and he's like, close these rifts now. But before anything happened, the beast gets sent back, and it's causing loads more problems. So he's trying to protect the beast with a shield from one of his T-spheres, and he doesn't have enough power to keep up that shield, and it's looking bleak. But the villain utters, "I've been trapped here for years because of you." I wonder who it is. Now, before that villain can reveal who they are, is it Granny Goodness? I don't know. But anyway, before that person can reveal who they are blasted. They are blasted by someone, and we see this young lad here. Get away from my dad. Now, mentioning Holt's son earlier, this is Jeffrey P.J. Holt, the long-lost son of Mr. Terrific, who's followed in his father's footsteps under the alias Fair Play. And here it is. Now, do we find out any more? We do not. We jumped to the past. Yes, we jumped to the past. A little cliffhanger there, where we see old Bruce Wayne here out playing golf. Now, in the last issue, Mr. Terrific and Bruce kind of teamed up to figure out a way of dissipating this terrible netherlight radiation that is coming out of a Nexus engine, right? Which is a power generator in the Athena Corporation's building. Now, Athena have made a deal with the government to switch power from their current power generators to this Athena engine. But unfortunately, the Nexus engine. But this Nexus engine is bleeding harmful radiation, and residents in the area are they're getting ill, right? And this whole book so far has been about Mr. Terrific and his friend who died, Dre, trying to shut it down. Now, this company, this Athena company, is actually Michael Holt's old company, which he sold after the death of his wife and supposedly his son. And he's been sort of rebuilding his life, and now he's found a bit of hope, becoming Mr. Terrific for the first time. So he's back. He's back with the tech. He's figuring things out. He's trying to figure out a way of shutting it down. So he calls up Brucey and says, "Hey, Bruce, we need a help here." He says, "We need some money." He says, "You want me to buy Prescott Industries, Michael?" He says, "It's the only way to stop Athena from hooking the next engine up to Gateway City's power grid." And Bruce is like, "Do you know how much that will cost?" And he say, "I've got money, Bruce, a lot of it, but you've got a fortune. We've got to stop this Nexus tech from getting out." Now, of course, Bruce is going to help him. And what I do like here, nice little touch, is we see this little bat tracer fly out of one of Brucey's golf clubs to trail whoever these guys are. So it shows he's always working, right? He's never not Batman. Now, what we do find out is Michael Holt's been reinvigorated now, and he's fixing some tech that him and Dre were working on. It was a holographic trainer, because Dre and actually Black Lightning and Michael Holt, they were runners in their school days, and Dre is like a fitness instructor, and this could revolutionize personal fitness, but he can never quite get it right. Now he realizes he needs money now, and a lot more of it. So I'm assuming he's finishing things off so that it can raise money to pay for all the things he needs to do, excuse me, to take Athena down. Right. So he calls up one of his councilwomen, the councilwoman who's also protesting against this. Now, there is a protest scheduled before the launch of this engine, which is supposed to be today. And he's saying, "Listen, a protest won't stop Athena Prescott. We need a court injunction." And she says, "We need a lawyer. In fact, we need a great lawyer. We don't have that kind of money." He says, "I do. So book it. Book him, Dano." And that's what happens. So he's doing all these things to try and legally help the situation, but also he's got to do something as Mr. Terrific, right? Of course. Now we jump back to Athena, the cold-hearted CEO of this Nexus engine. Now she's in cahoots with Darkseid, so she is under pressure to deliver the goods for Darkseid, and she is ruthless. Now the Nexus engine had an issue last issue. Does that make sense? Yes. And it kind of exploded a lot of radiation out, and she went in to shut it down before it actually entirely blew up. But she didn't die. No, the radiation was absorbed into her. So we have a new villain brewing here. I'm pretty sure of it. Okay, she's in the hospital. She's supposed to be relaxing, but she will not. She wants out. She wants to turn that Nexus engine on right now, today, against the judgment of the hospital. So she's leaving because you know what? She owns the damn place, pretty much. Now, while that's happening, Mr. Terrific gets a visit from Black Lightning, again, old school friend and good friend of his, along with Dre, who was murdered. And we see a cormorant here, this guy who looks like he's heavily armed. Now, he was the security head for Athena Prescott, and they fell out. She fired him, and he's out for revenge too. Now, he knows Mr. Terrific is Michael Holt, and Athena doesn't believe him. So I think he's out on a mission to sort of prove himself right, and at the same time get a little bit of revenge. Okay, we're long-winded here, but there's a lot to cover. So we have this conversation between Black Lightning and Mr. Terrific, and they kind of make up. I think they kind of had a falling out or sort of grew apart. I would say that Dre's death, I think Mr. Terrific took it quite hard, obviously, and he blamed himself for it. And Black Lightning says, "It's not your fault. You didn't shoot the gun." So basically what we're doing here is building up his character band. We're getting rid of all that baggage that he's having so he can truly become Mr. Terrific. Now, we turn up to this place where this engine's going to be turned on, and we see Prescott being driven through the protest. And we notice a glowing hand. Of course, this is netherlight radiation energy, right? So something is going to happen with her. She's definitely going to become a villain of some kind. And we see this ominous wrist with a countdown. This is going to be the cormorant, I guess. Sounds like he's got a bomb or something planned. And while that's happening, she bumps into, I think, the mayor who's been paid off to allow this engine to go forward because, you know, a lot of corrupt people around here. And of course, that's what happens. There's a huge explosion and the Cormorant comes out and just starts shooting people. It's pretty terrible, especially with what's going on in the real world now. He just absolutely starts shooting all the innocent bystanders because he's trying to coax Mr. Terrific out to play. And they do. They turn up in their little sports car. They probably do a skid to his halt, and they jump out, ready to kick some ass. So, Mr. Terrific takes on the Cormorant, and Black Light decides to go into the generator and try and fix whatever's going down there. When he gets there, he realizes that there's these 3 pipes. He doesn't know how to fix it. So he's in communication with Mr. Terrific, who explains to him that the energy needs to be reflowed, otherwise, kaboom. While it's happening, okay, the Cormorant gets an absolute beatdown, which is being long due from Miss Terrific, because he gave Miss Terrific quite a severe beatdown earlier on. So this is a bit of revenge here. He's absolutely kicking the hell out of him. And you can see he's making great use of these T-spheres, which become, you know, his major accessory as the years go on. So that's what happens. So Black Lightning averts disaster by funneling the energy. The Cormorant is taken down, so less people are getting shot up, and they decide that the power plant is secure. And he says, "You good?" He goes, "Yeah, man, it's finally over." And then we see next in the bottom here, it's not over. So there we go. But there is something in the background you may not notice, because in the rubble of the explosion of this building where this generator is, where Miss Prescott is a female-looking netherlight energy radiation glowing woman rising from the debris. So yes, I guess we're going to see her debut in all her villainous glory next issue. So again, another great issue, great script. Honestly, the dialogue between characters is so good. You really feel like this is like real. In a sense, it doesn't feel like it's a comic book. It feels so visceral and real that it draws you into it, and you forget for a minute that you're reading a comic book. It is so well done. You can feel the friendship between these characters like Black Lightning, Mr. Holt, and Dre, because again, they were a trio back in their school days and have been friends ever since. And you can really feel Athena under the pressure of Darkseid to perform whatever nasty task she has to do with this netherlight generator. So it's very good. Again, I cannot fault this book. The only downside to it is there's only 1 issue left. I honestly wish this was an ongoing, because it definitely deserves it. So yeah, again, my hats off to Al Letson and Valentine De Landro and the whole creative team on this book. Absolute stellar book from DC this week. So there we go. Those are my thoughts. Do let me know yours. And again, if you know who that person is in the Palace of Eternity, I don't know if it's Granny Goodness, because again, I didn't read that Flash run, or I haven't read a lot of that part of DC. Do let me know. I'll be very intrigued. So there we go. Like the video if you can. Hit subscribe too. And hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.